Valve in the EU, or not EU, the UK. Getting my U's mixed up.
Yeah.
Valve in the UK is being sued because it's too dominant of a gaming platform. And so I kind of went down a little rabbit hole well to research this.
Okay.
So the Valve Corporation will face a 656 million pound lawsuit, which is roughly equivalent to 900 million US dollars,
It's a lot.
in the UK, alleging unfair prices on its global online store. That's how this has been framed, which is
Okay.
a weird frame to me. It kind of sounds like a little red flaggish because the company, not company, the law firm that is doing this is basically doing UK's version of a class action lawsuit, and they're claiming to represent 14 million gamers in the UK.
Okay.
So they say the gaming giant is being accused of abusing its market dominance by imposing restrictive terms on game publishers and locking players into using Steam.
Well, how so? How would they be locking players into Steam when, most of their purchases are just people want to use the platform?
Well, they're alleging Valve forces game publishers to sign up to conditions which prevent them from selling their titles earlier or for less on rival platforms.
Interesting.
It claims Valve requires users to buy all additional content, read DLC, through Steam if they bought the initial game through that platform. And that essentially locks players into making purchases there.
I mean, is that not the same for every digital platform? You buy the game on the platform, you have to buy through their platform also,
Right.
just because their DRM is tied up into that, right?
Right.
So
Yeah,
how is that
that
any
is the
different?
same everywhere.
No.
But I'll get into that a little bit later, but Valve isn't the only one that's being sued
Oh,
for stuff like that. Um,
I guess that
so
makes sense.
we'll go into this. We'll continue with the Valve suit right now. But so they also allege that the commission that Valve charges 30%, too much, too
Okay.
much for purchasing PC games.
Sure.
And
Okay.
they claim that if you cut that in half, like 15% or something, or whatever is in line with like Epic or whoever,
Mhm.
um, that that would mean savings for the consumer. And
Okay.
I mean, I don't really personally, I don't really see that, because it's
Yeah.
like, you got Activision Blizzard, you got EA,
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft,
Yeah.
and I can lower their prices. They don't charge $70 because of Steam is charging them 30%, you know?
No. It's to make more money to offset the
Yeah.
development
Yeah.
costs.
Maybe at the fringes, at like the indie game scale, they might lower their game a little bit, but
Mhm.
I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, this isn't going to lower game prices ultimately.
Yeah.
While um, corporations are going to be pocketing this money, small publishers and indie developers are just going to use this to help fund their next title or fund their livelihood because it is their livelihood ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with this where we're getting a little bit more money to uh, the smaller publishers and independent things, but like these savings are not going to be passed on to the consumer in any way, shape, or form. Games are still going to be $80. Games are still going to be $70. There's not that is not going to change, even if every commission rate of every store dropped to 15 or 12.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It will still stay at that price because that is offsetting the development cost, quote
Yeah.
unquote.
So, Valve is also being accused of uh, not allowing other stores to discount games without also discounting that game on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
So if like you have your game priced at full price on Steam, but like you want to go over to Epic Game Store and put a little sale on it, Valve is like, no, you have to put the sale on our store as well.
Okay. Yeah, that does seem that's sketch.
Yeah. Because like, if you went over to Target, Target has their own sales, but like you go to like GameStop and they're like, no, because you got a sale going at Target, you have to put your sale here at GameStop.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. And so they are also being sued in the US for that as well. I don't know how far that suit has gone,
Mhm.
but that is a thing that's happening.
I do hope that goes somewhere because ultimately, like, um, if you if you are able to actually have like multiple prices on different stores, then ultimately that drives competition towards
Hmm.
different platforms. Okay, the sale over here is better than the sale over here. You're actively checking between multiple stores, and that is encouraging competition amongst these platforms.
Jamie, be careful there. You might gonna anger the people over at PC Master Race over their Steam fandom.
My bad. I mean, I'm just speaking the truth here. You want competition so that your sales on Steam will be better.
Let me think about that.
How about
Okay.
that?
Okay, so also, so there has been recent precedent. This goes to the other lawsuits because Valve isn't alone in being sued about this.
Oh, interesting.
Apple and Google, they have both been sued for in a similar mass case over in Britain. Um, Apple has been for their commissions up to 30%. So Apple has to pay $1.3 billion in damages,
Jeez.
and they try to like appeal that ruling, but they were like, no, you can't appeal that. So there is precedent over in the UK for this, and which could impact this Valve case.
So they're trying to bring down the commission prices across the board, like for any digital platform. Is that what I'm seeing here?
Right. I mean, it's not this one law firm. This law firm is part of a. There's a bunch of law firms suing different companies like this, like Apple and Google. Like the one for Google and the one for Apple, different law firms are suing each one. The one
Gotcha.
for Valve is being sued by a different law firm as well. But now that there's precedent that Apple has to pay out 1.3 billion in damages to lower, and they have to lower their commission rate to developers and to sell the games or whatever, it
Yeah,
could impact Valve's case, and they might
that
have to
makes
lower
sense.
their commission rate as well.
Wow.
Um,
Well,
the one for Google is for $1.1 billion dollars.
it's a lot of money.
Um, Sony is being sued in the EU. And do you want to guess how much they're being sued for?
Well, I'm kind of looking directly at it.
Oh,
They're being sued for $7.9 billion. Holy crap,
yeah. And that's from
that's a lot of money.
2013. I haven't heard any movement on these lawsuits. The Apple one is the only one that I've seen that has been concluded.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it says 2023 here actually, not 2013.
Oh, whoops. I misspoke.
Sorry.
No, that's
Other
good.
three.
Yeah. But if you look at so if you look at the other game platform commissions, 30% has kind of been the
Mhm.
standard across everybody. So like Google, Apple,
Yeah.
PlayStation, Valve, GOG, they all charge 30%. Humble Bundle was like 15 to 30. I guess they have some different things that go on that might get less or more depending on what it is.
Yeah.
Microsoft and Xbox, they now charge 12%. And Epic has an interesting one where for the first $1 million in sales per year, they'll charge you $0, but
Oh, interesting.
they'll charge you 12% after that.
12% still not that bad.
Yeah. So let's break it down. Let's go through each one of these and let's see if we think Valve is in the right or wrong.
All right. Lay it on me. I'll tell you
Okay,
right now.
let me pull it up.
Honestly, I think it's kind of cool that the EU is trying to take some of these prices down, even though this probably isn't going to change anything on these platforms for the most part as far as pricing. It's
Yeah.
admirable that they are attempting to drive some of these prices down in a way.
Okay,
Respect
so
that.
so there's like four different claims in this lawsuit.
Okay.
Um Valve doesn't allow you to sell your game cheaper anywhere else, and the game must be listed on Steam for equal value as anywhere else.
Yeah, that's Valve is in the wrong in that. Like, you should be able to have a sale at a completely different price somewhere else. It's
Hmm.
kind of anti-consumer to ultimately have a lower price over there and not over here. I, realistically, you want your games to be selling everywhere, and having different stores with different prices and different sales can help. I think the base price should be the same, but sale prices are the one things that should be able to be different amongst platforms.
Yeah, like that's what drives competition and
Absolutely.
throughout the market, and that's what helps keep a healthy economy, if you want to be, philosophical.
It helps the consumer out in the long run to just have
Yeah, it does
more
help you.
sale choices.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So, Valve doesn't allow you to sell DLC to other storefronts on other
Valve doesn't.
storefronts
Oh, okay.
without
Wait.
also being sold on Steam.
So Valve doesn't allow you to sell DLC on other platforms. You have to also list your DLC on Steam. That makes sense. I
Right.
get that. You know,
Right.
if you're gonna list your game, come on, you have to list everything that's with it. Also, I get that. No, that's just a good.
Yeah. 'Cause it'd be weird to be like, let me buy my game on Steam and then go over to Epic and be like, yeah, let me get the DLC here. I
Doesn't
mean,
work like that.
but
No
their
platform works like that.
launchers, like you'd have to like, I don't know.
It would be incredibly cool if you could just buy a DLC over here and a game over here to make everything
Yeah.
work in tandem, but the infrastructure isn't set up like that right now, and it would require every single digital storefront to work hand in hand to make that
Yeah.
happen. That's
It
not
would
Steam
kind of have to
specific.
be more like GOG, in which
Yeah,
you don't need a launcher.
you're just launching the game directly.
Right. So then, like, you would buy your game and then you just install it directly on a computer without the launcher. And
I
then you would
agree.
buy the DLC and, like, somehow that would, I don't know how DLC works.
Well, usually these games they have a form of DRM tied up in them on whatever storefront you buy them on.
Hmm.
And Steam is one of those. Obviously, when you're buying a thing on Steam, you're buying the DLC on Steam, and they're tied up to your account on that. So I get why the EU is trying to do away with that, but realistically, that is not a Steam specific thing. That is just digital platforms. Period. Right now, the
Yeah.
landscape that they're in. GOG is the only one right now that is, you're buying also your DLC DRM free. And until that goes away, that it's just not going to go away, period. So I don't think Valve's really in the wrong for that specifically. I think every
Yeah.
other company's doing the same thing.
Yeah. Everyone is doing the same thing. They're all want you in their walled garden.
Yeah.
And like,
Stay
I
in our
mean, it would
ecosystem.
be, I mean, except GOG, honestly.
Yes. Yeah.
But I don't, but because GOG is the only one that does it like that, then also you're kind of just stuck in GOG's default walled garden, even though they're like, we're not making it walled, but like because everyone else is walled. It's like if
Yeah.
if you don't have a fence, but everyone else around you has a fence, you now have a fence.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of living in their walled garden, ironically.
Yeah. And then the last one is that Valve's 30% cut on sales, which is pretty much the standard
Yeah.
across the board, but they're saying it's too high.
Well, I I do agree that it may be too high for certain publishers and small indie developers. Um, but if every other storefront is having it at 30%, even retailers have it at that price rate, then I don't see anything wrong with it. But clearly they are trying to lower those all across the board. So hopefully that actually ends up working, and if they get PlayStation, Valve, and all the like to drop their commission rate. But until that happens, I don't think Valve is specifically in the wrong in that way.
Yeah, like, but why would you hope? hope that like we wouldn't really see any benefit from that as consumers, as customers.
I think because it's not really gonna affect Valve too much. They make infinite money from like CS and Dota and Team Fortress and the various games they have on sale all the time. I don't think they're gonna be hurting off of that for the most part. Um, but that will help out independents and small publishers more than it will help the corporations. I think they'll be
Mm,
fine regardless, but smaller studios will do better.
I see. I see. Jamie, I think um, Valve, they're not always in the right.
Yeah,
And I honestly, I went into this wanting to defend Valve and be like, this is kind of BS, you know, they're kind of being unfairly targeted. But like,
yeah,
the more I read about it, the more I found out about these other lawsuits, and they're kind of not
yeah.
unfairly targeted.
I think Valve is usually the apologist for people to go and defend, gung ho defend them, just on the
Hmm.
fact that they are the best platform and they do genuinely care about, the consumer and the gamer. But there are some caveats with that, obviously, like we've been looking at
Yeah.
today.
I mean, at the end of the day, they are still a business looking to make a profit,
Yep.
and they are going to exploit every opportunity they can to do that.
It seems like they're just less overtly evil about it, maybe.
Yeah. And they have like a lot of goodwill that I don't know, like I don't know how they survived it. They just have a lot of goodwill.
Yeah. Okay, I think they're not exploiting the customers directly. It's really in
Mm,
like a almost like a um what's it called? In a very like invisible way, I guess is what I want to say, where most people wouldn't even know, you can't get your DLC from here. People just assume you
right.
just can't get your DLC anywhere else except for the platform you buy it on.
Yeah.
Or, people wouldn't even think about, oh, yeah, Valve's price is also the same as this other price. They're both on sale for the same amount. So what's up with that? I guess I should just buy wherever I have my games ultimately.
Right.
It wouldn't People wouldn't think about that ultimately
Right.
until it's come out.
And that's how Valve is using its market dominance to,
Yeah.
you know, make you stay on their platform ultimately. And it's like,
Realistically, Valve should be just staying the course as far as they're the best service on the market. That's the why people want to stay in their ecosystem, period.
yeah.
Until Epic Game Store can be a good storefront, like I then it doesn't
Well, this is
matter.
a little off topic, but like, what's wrong with Epic? Like, I don't really use the service because just because I have so much on Steam. But like,
Yeah.
Epic is giving like free games out the wazoo.
Yeah.
They're being better to game companies by charging less on commissions. Like, they have the best commission deal in the
Mm.
industry.
There's really bad social features. I mean, it's very minute social features as far as like what you can do on the platform. You can't really like message people. You
Who
they
uses Valve's Messenger? Steam
Dude,
Messenger.
people, the idea that you can just click and join somebody's game instantly via a Steam notification is it does wonders.
Oh, you can't do that on Epic?
No. See, you just assumed.
Oh,
It's so
yeah,
ingrained into you. You're
yeah.
you're Steam brained, man.
Oh,
That is a luxury that Steam affords people,
yeah.
which is
Steam does.
very
They also
nice.
do. They also have like the workplace. What is it?
The workshop, yeah.
Workshop for mods. I don't
Mhm.
think Epic has a mod thing.
No, they don't.
So
Steam has a lot of very nice features. Community, uh, how you're organizing your
yeah.
library, the store itself, and its thousands of tags that you can do. There are a lot of nice things on Steam, and until that like Epic like steps up and creates a good platform for people to buy, a good ecosystem for people to buy and play their games on and communicate with people, like
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be that.
Mm.
But to be honest with you, it took years for the Epic Game Store to even get a shopping cart. So
That
let's
sounds like a basic store every store has.
Yeah, right. I remember a Jesse Cox video from years ago where he was talking about there was a big sale on Epic and he bought a bunch of games on there, but you could only buy them one at a time. So you had to buy it, put in your card
Mm.
info, buy it, put your card info, and you do that over and over again. And then his bank flagged it and they froze his card. I was like,
You're
oh,
buying too
okay.
much.
Well, they thought it was fraudulent activity. So,
Yeah.
so until they
$60, $60, $60, $60.
yeah,
Oh yeah, that does look suspicious.
yeah, something's up with that.
Yeah.
Until they can step it up, people won't swap from Steam. So